Not heavy, but I am a part of a lot of things where I tell them that what I'm not. Because here's the thing, my journey is already complex enough.
Yeah.
So what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to misrepresent an entire community of people, because I do understand that the weight is still on my back, whether I want it to be or not. Anytime a trans person or LBGT person, which we're already marginalized group, anytime we occupy media spaces, we have to make sure that we understand that the responsibility is there, whether we want it or not.
Absolutely.
And when you have cis het people with their hands into something this big, they can tell the story that they'd like for people to
Yeah.
see about a trans person
Yeah.
or whatever. And I make sure that I'm like, listen, this is what I'm not doing.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be here and I'm black. And the climate right now is not for us black people to be anywhere occupying any media space looking terrible like this.
So we're going to get back to the makeup, but that actually segues me into my one of my questions I had for you, because you know, we don't see physical representation of trans women really on television, let alone black trans women. And the last time I could think about like having a trans woman having a television show, it was Caitlyn Jenner. And obviously she's a different class of person. She has access to, you know, wealth, and she has privilege and all these other things. And, you know, I watched that show and I have my own opinions about it, but we have not seen a black trans woman occupy her own show. Do you feel like that you're owning a sense of responsibility for all black trans women and or the trans community that you're walking into with this show? Do you feel a level of pressure here?
I do, and that's why I'm a bit nervous, because as everyone knows, I am an unorthodox trans woman. You know, I'm not the norm, and I am very well. In the past, I have said things that were problematic, and
Yeah.
which now I can take ownership of that and be like, yeah, Master, you said something that was problematic, because at one point it didn't affect you, but in the future it really did, because you're not alone in this situation. Even though you can't live for the group, you are a part of a group, and you might stand out to a set of eyes that might make people think that this is the way the entire group acts. Even though I'm not going to act like the group, like I'm not going to act like we're all the same exact thing, and I don't have my own identity, but I do have to understand that there's a responsibility there for me to be cognizant of what straight people can do with our
Absolutely.
stories. Yeah.
You're essentially bringing a story that's already slightly vulnerable because of how the public perceives trans to the forefront, network television. And
Yes.
now you're giving access to this. And so I can totally understand that level of pressure. And, I'm sure you're going to do it so well. I want to segue first and ask you what's in your bag. What's number two?
All right. Number two in my bag is the powder.
Which powder is that?
I have oh my God, I gotta read it. It is Dark Deep Studio Waterway
Powder.
Yes.
I love that powder. You better be a MAC girl, Maddie. Yes, that powder has a warm and a cool in it, and a brush applicator underneath.
Yes.
Why do you love that powder?
Oh shit, I never used it. Thank you for telling me that was under there. Thank you. Well, I like this powder because what this powder does for me is, let's say that I've had this foundation on and I've left it at home. I can take this powder and go over it, and it all depends on the time of day. It can either warm me up.
Yep.
Or it can brighten me up, or it can tone me down, according to, where I put it. Like I can go back and highlight areas with this,
Yeah.
in the highlight areas, and then I can go here and
Bronze yourself up and warm yourself up. Absolutely.
yes,
A lot of people don't know that, because oftentimes people that are drier in terms of skin, they're like, oh, I don't want to wear powder. But that's actually one of the few powders that actually helps to add hydration to the skin and keeps the skin feel comfortable. And I love that you have that split pan because, to your point, you can brighten and you can warm yourself up as well. Come on, Matt girl.
Yeah, I am. And listen, for me not to be a girl that knows how to do this, like to heavily apply a beat face, like, girl, this is a TV face. This is a bright light face.
That's not your yoga. That's not your yoga face.
Oh no, honey, my yoga face is way, way more heavier than this. Yeah, but this is a filming face. So, but when I'm doing, natural and every day, and I do my base, do powder. Yeah, do my base.
What's number 3?
Oh, number 3. Well, listen, one thing that you can't ever get away with in this whole situation, I gotta make sure that I get the right one. I want to pull the right one out, because you can't get away without, oh God, I hope it's in here. If not, I'll just show you one. You can't get away without your lips from MAC. And I have different varieties of MAC lipsticks. I do like this one, this color right here. This is the vision. My vision is so bad in this. Let me screw it up before I drop it. Freak Out. Wait a minute. Is it Freak Out or Flat Out?
Flat Out Fabulous?
Flat Out Fabulous.
I like Freak Out, but
this is Flat Out Fabulous.
Flat Out Fabulous.
I love this. This is one of my favorites. Flat Out Fabulous. And I was hoping that I had my favorite one in there, which was Ruby Woo.
Let me tell you something. If that's not the iconic red lip for every single woman, and let me tell you something, on a woman of color, it's gorgeous.
I love Ruby Woo makeup because, Ruby Woo lipstick, because it just gives me those lips that I need.
Yes.
And I could, I'm talking shit. That's a good reading lip, honey, when I want to fire a bitch up. And to have that on a face, like on a matte face with that lip, boom.
It's sitting.
What am I gonna do here? I don't have any mascara, but I usually use the mascara from MAC. I think somebody stole it from me.
Ooh, they nasty if they taking your mascara, honey. That's like taking somebody's toothbrush.
Yeah. Can I be honest?
Yes, ma'am.
When I don't have Ruby Woo,
what's your go-to?
I don't know if you're familiar with the crayon case.
Okay, so I've heard about it, but I have not got a chance to play with it. Please talk to me. Talk to me and my beauty besties about this.
The crayon case is a line from a girlfriend of mine from New Orleans. Her name is Super Scent, Raynell Super Scent, and she became a millionaire like by selling her makeup.
Yes.
She has so many things. Like I have so much of her stuff. I have this.
That's gorgeous. What is that, Maddie?
It's called the Contuition Notebook, and it's this.
That's a contour palette, y'all. Y'all see this contour palette?
Yes, from the crayon case. I have her. It's called Watch Me Blush, and these are her eyeshadow palettes, which I use. These.
And Maddie, those look like a nice, generous size of eyeshadow too.
Yes, and the pigment is so thickening. Like the pigmentation is like the color. It color pops. Like this is stuff. Like I know I'm cheating. I'm supposed to show you 4 things, and I'm really cheating. Like these things I'm pulling out.
I mean, we are at like 6, but it's okay because I love you.
I'm pulling these things out of my box because this is the stuff that I have. And it's hers, and I really support her because she's an African American woman. Like I'm for all things Black, and it doesn't mean because. And I have to say this to you guys that are watching. Just because I say it that I'm for all things Black doesn't mean that I don't support anything else.
Absolutely.
It's just that I know what it's like being Black.
Yep.
And living in a world where you want your business to strive or whatever, and you're just as great as Mac, but you don't have the opportunity.
Right.
As if I could shop hard in the Mac store, I could definitely shop hard with my Black sister, whose this lip right here, which is called crawfish. I'm telling you, this right here, this is very ruby woo.
That red is gorgeous.
It is ruby woo. When you put it on, I'll put it on my hand.
Okay, thank you, Maddie.
Put it on, it's very, do you see ruby woo?
But do you see how intense and red that is? It looks matte. Is that matte?
It does. It dries matte. And this is, it gives you ruby woo. Now there's another lip that she has that's kind of like Candy Yum Yum.
Okay.
You know Candy Yum Yum? Because Candy Yum Yum is one of my favorites. Now
Candy Yum Yum is one of them. That's one of them I'm going out on a mission type of lip.
Yeah, so look at this one that she has in the crayon case. This is Candy Yum Yum. You see that?
Yes. Okay.
So when I don't have those two girls in my purse, my two favorite matte girls, I have my two favorite crayon case girls, and this one is called Holly Grove, and this one is called Crawfish. But
that's the beauty about makeup, especially when it comes to lips. It's okay to have more than one in your arsenal, right?
Yes, you have to. Listen, the lip determines the conversation.
That's a sippable moment. Take a sip. That's a sippable moment. The lip determines the conversation.
Yes, that's what it does. So Ruby Woo or Crawfish talks business up here. Candy Yum Yum or Holly Grove talks business downstairs.
And on that note, I have another question for you. With the TV show, how does the TV show impact your brand as T.S. Madison? And what is one thing that people are going to be surprised to learn about you once we see the show?
Oh my God. This television show impacts my brand as T.S. Madison because so many things unfolded on this show that made me understand that I've always been on the right path. It's really going to impact my brand very big because who's to say? Who knows that there might be something that unfolds on this that changes the dynamic of television.
Yeah.
And it not only changes the dynamic of television, but changes the dynamic of the way people give opportunities to Black trans women. Absolutely. And this is why I tell people all the time, I know I have haters, and I know which I really don't care and I really don't mind, but I have haters that are even from my own community. And I try to tell them that by you hating on me or saying, oh, I'm not going to watch, I'm not going to support that, oh, you're not funny, you're not this, you're not that, you're only damaging yourself. Because the more that we don't support each other or the more that there's a failure in one of us, it affects the entire flock.
Absolutely.
Because this right here that's transpiring right now is bigger than me.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said earlier in the conversation, there are no Black trans women reality television show stars, that are trying to command the world to give me a television talk show.
Exactly.
So what's going on here is now when people on the outside like VH1 or TLC or any other large network is watching this, and there are other trans women out there who have been trying to get their own television show or whatever it is they're trying to break out in media, if there's a success in this, this is the opportunity now for me to open doors for all these other projects that have been in the background waiting to happen because the success of T.S. Madison show.
Absolutely. And you say that because when we're talking about opening doors, right? And when we look at the culture of television, especially the LGBTQIA plus community, you know, RuPaul made drag digestible for us and brought it to us into our homes. And you know, when I even think about it, because I'm a huge RuPaul fan, when I think about even his story, like back in the 90s, RuPaul had the VH1 talk show. And you know, it had its stint, but it wasn't until what 13 years ago that he brought Drag Race to us. And now drag culture, drag phenomenon, it has become such an embraced culture. And I think what you're doing, say that one more time.
Mainstream.
Mainstream, absolutely.
Mainstream. It brings life. It brings humanity. It brings the eyes for people to understand that drag is a job and it's also people's life. This is a real thing. This isn't something that you over there. Look at those drag queens. This is like, oh my God, these drag queens are these people are entertainers. This is work. Oh my God.
Yes. And that's what this show is going to do. Your show is bringing, because, you know, to your point, we have the Laverne Cox, the Angelica Houston, the Janet Mox, but what we have not seen from them is what's behind the lens, what's behind the character. And so what you're bringing to us is a humanity of what life is as a Black trans woman. And I am so thrilled that you're able to break this glass ceiling. I'm so thrilled that you have a network that has embraced you, to be able to give the platform to go from internet to television and to tell your truth and your story. I know we have to begin to wrap this up. I have like 2 more questions for you, if that's okay. What is your last and final item that you can't live without in your bag?
Shoot. I've already showed you my blush.
Oh, what's that?
It's from Mix, the finishing spray.
Oh, and it's a matte finishing mist. Okay. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, what it is just very much so, just like any other finishing spray, like that, you know, it holds the makeup and stuff in place. But
I love a good hashtag missed opportunity.
Yes, dear God, that felt so good. It's refreshing. And it's only $7.99. And it's almost the equivalent to MAC. It's just by Mix.
I love, and it looks like a great travel size as well.
Yes, great travel size. Nick, $7.99, baby. I don't go nowhere without it.
Never leave home, because it fits in your purse. Never leave home without it, just like your debit card and your driver's license.
Or your pistol.
Oh, that too.
I definitely keep that in my other bag.
Are you telling us that you're packing, Matt?
All the time. I pack every day. Heavy.
Heavy. All right, so my last question is, because I want to know, and I'm sure all of my beauty besties want to know, when is the Supreme Court coming back into session, honey? Congress is back in session. Senate is back in session. When is the Supreme Court coming back in session?
Oh my God, the Queen Supreme Court is coming back in session when everything is revealed on the T.S. Madison experience. We'll be resuming back into session, but I think that the people are going to enjoy the way that it resumes, because it resumes in a way that I've dreamed that I'd like for it to be. And I was actually, not to extend the answer so long, but it's going to be a little long answer. I was going to do away with it completely.
Why?
Yeah. Well, I was going to do away with it because I didn't want to be in the shadow of the old things that were before. And I was tired of being compared to the old things that it was before. But what I found out in the whole situation was, T.S. Madison, you can't dead that, because we watched you rise like a phoenix from that situation. Exactly. With that. And you've created a whole new fan base of that, and you have a new audience that loves that, and you also have a television show about something about that, and girl, you can't dead that, so you got to find somewhere to put that. And This is why you got to tune in to the T.S. Madison experience.
I'll be ready on March 4th, you said?
Yes, March 4th. Yes.
I'm going to have my Olivia Pope wine glass and my popcorn ready for March 4th on WeTV.
Yes, yes.
And on that note, thank you so much, guys. We have to go. Maddie, T.S. Madison in the house. Thank you for joining me with What's in Your Bag. But in the meantime, guys, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel if you like this video if you like, and leave me a comment. But most importantly, are those notifications turned on? I hope so. Madison, T.S. Madison in the house. Cheers to you. Clink, 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 clink. Guys, who loves you? I do. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Madison.
Bye, baby.